Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you. So basically, I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. I guess the first question is, how did you get into like curating playlists? Like, what was your first initial step into that lane of the music business?
Yeah, sure. So I came up with the idea of the underground wave when I was in undergrad. I went to UNC Charlotte. I was surrounded by artists all over the place, and it was really cool to be around, see the behind the scenes process of everybody's stuff. Originally, it was supposed to be a YouTube, but 2020 came around, and I think actually before that, I ended up making a UNCC 19 playlist, which was just all the music I had for the 4 years of my college career, and everybody loved the playlist. And I was like, you know what? Like, I've been doing this for a while. Let me just go ahead and at least make the Instagram page. So started the Instagram page, started sharing playlists. I wasn't taking submissions at first, but I opened them up about 3 years ago. So the page has existed for about 6 years now. I think January makes 6 years actually. So I've just been kind of curating, I love music. I've always loved music. So it's a way for me to connect with independent artists, but also just be able to just share my taste with everybody pretty much.
Okay, that's dope. Speaking of taste, how would you describe your music taste? Like, what are your main things? Like, you a hip hop head, R&B girl, a little bit of bold pop. What's your taste is like?
While I like everything, I lean towards R&B. I got my couple of, hip hop, rap. I'm not like an enthusiast of rap. I'm really more of like R&B enthusiast, but I'm a fan of J. Cole. So
Okay, you a J. Cole fan?
yeah,
Okay.
big J. Cole fan.
Okay. 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 I guess being a J. Cole fan, I guess why wait? Of course he's been making a lot of noise over the last couple of weeks with the announcement of the fall off that's coming. Of course, one of the most anticipated albums in hip hop. So what are your thoughts on Mr. J. Cole? What are you looking forward to with the new project? Did you get a chance to hear the mixtape? Like, what are your thoughts on J. Cole being a huge J. Cole fan? Like, what you expecting?
Don't have any expectations. I really don't. Like,
Okay.
I'm sad that I think this is the last of the last for him. So it's kind of sad to think that he's probably gonna be retiring after this, but I am excited to like be able, if he's going on tour, be able to finally go to a show. I went to the first 4 Dreamvilles. I sold tickets for Dreamville's Fest, so like I'm really connected. Um, but the mixtape was fire. It brought me back to like early days, the warm up, all of
Yeah.
that. So I was really
Yeah.
excited to hear that and be able to pay $1 for it, dollar in the dream days, if you know, you know.
Right.
Um, so
Yeah.
I don't have too many, I try to ignore the haters because I know everybody has their reservations about him taking 7 minute drill down. But I'm a fan of the person, I'm a fan of the artist, and I'm a person that doesn't really do too much separation or whatever. So he did what he did. I was there when he
Yeah.
apologized. I was there when he took it down. It is what it is. I'm here for the music.
Yeah, I'm here for the music. And the bars are still there, the music's still there, the content's still there. The song that he released, rapping in reverse. Like, I'm excited for this project. Like you said, the expectations, I'm not really, really want to get into all that. I'm just looking, like you said, I'm just waiting on good music. And
Yes.
J. Cole hasn't failed yet when it comes to making albums. He's one of the greatest rappers of all time. He always delivered. He's that dude. So I don't expect nothing less from J. Cole at this point in his career. And if this is his last album, I'm expecting, maybe I'm gonna go out on a limb to say this might be his best album to date. That's what, if I have to go ahead and say it, and it's rumored that it might be a double disc album. So more
Hmm.
music, more J. Cole. I'm here for it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? What you think about it? I know you here for it. You're a big J. Cole fan.
I mean, I'm gonna listen to it regardless. Like, I'm still spinning
Yeah.
stuff I'm still spinning the mixtape. So it's just like anytime that I'm in a funk, anytime I can just put it on and I'm gonna be cool. And that goes for all of Dreamville, honestly. I love the whole roster. So I'm here for all of it. Again, ignoring the noise and here for the music.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, Dreamville dope. I like the roster. I'm a JID kind of guy. I love what he's doing. He's a dope rapper. one
Right.
of the best out there. You know, he's fire. You know what I'm saying? I love JID, Jid, or how you want to call it. I love his music and everything like that. So yeah, so that's your take on J. Cole. Had to get that in there. Of course, he been making a lot of noise. But we waiting on 2/6/26. You know what time it is. The
Yep.
fall off will be dropping. All right,
Yep.
so that's what's up. So I guess what influence your ear to discover music? Like do you have any influences that you draw from? I know you say you're a big R&B type of girl. Like who are some of your influences or who you like to listen to get you in the mood to curate some of your playlists or anything like that if you have any.
Got you. Originally, I'm a church kid. I'm a PK. So everything stems from me growing up in church, listening to gospel. That's all I listened to for first 8 to 10 years of my life. So my parents was not playing that. But my brother got me my first CD and it was actually Trey Songz Trey Day. So I always like reference him. And my brother and I are 10 years apart. So he was born in the late 80s. I was born in the late 90s. So anything that he was listening to, in addition to anything that my mom was listening to. So like Prince, Michael Jackson, my mom was a house music fan, but my brother, his favorite rapper was Jay-Z. And then just like all of, like my
Oh,
favorite song is Prototype. So Outkast, Christopher Williams, Shanae,
okay.
like all of that stuff. So then
Okay.
I'm a late 90s kid, early 2000s. So I came up in a really good time for R&B and I was just around it all the time, especially because I went to a summer camp and every year they would make us remix a song. So I was just around the music all the time. I was always roller skating. So Fantasia, Bobby Valentino, Lloyd, all of that stuff early on. But if we have to go current right now, who am I listening to? A lot of like kind of independent people or people that have left labels, but I would say now like Elmine for sure. I've been listening to a lot of him like recently. Beyonce, of course, always. Um, who else? Kenyon Dixon, Zay France. It's been a lot of people as of lately. Like I've been trying to like I haven't curated anything lately because I'm like, there's a lot going on and I'm trying to figure out like what vibe I want to go for. So it's a lot. But just trying to find people that stay true to like that can actually I don't say they can actually sing, but like I really gravitate to people because I was in church. I have an ear. So sometimes like I like people that can sing live, and if I can like buy a ticket and see them live, and like I don't have to rely on the musicians to carry them. I enjoy
Yeah.
that. Like Kenyon Dixon, I've been to see him a couple of times in Charlotte, so I gravitate to people that really can really sing. Like Ari Lennox, her album has been on repeat. A couple of people dropped in the last 2 weeks, dropping early. Well, Jill Scott about to drop. Like, there's just so much music and
Yeah.
R&B right
Yeah.
now to just be able to listen to. So I just gravitate to a good soul feeling. I feel like as I'm getting older, I really gravitate to some of the older stuff too.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I like that answer. That's a great answer. So I guess to piggyback off that a little bit, what makes a song like immediately stand out to you? Like what are you looking for? Like is it the beat or the lyric, the content of the song or what have you, the way they sing it? What makes you, decide to, okay, I'm gonna add this to my playlist? Like is it something that stands out to you? What do you hear from that or, stuff like that? So what stands out to you before you decide to like, curate this or put this on a playlist? What are you looking
Yeah.
for?
Production mainly, but also the way that the person's singing and choosing to execute lyrics. Cause like lyrics can be the simplest thing, but the way that you choose to go, like going high or going low or doing a run here, like the actual like putting together of that, listening to that. And if it makes me like either I run it back, listen to it all the way through and run it back, or like run it back in the middle of the song, like that's a really good indication that I will probably add it to something.
Okay. All right, that's what's up. Do you prioritize lyrics, production, mood, originality? Is that something that those some of the things that you look for? Like just
Yeah.
the lyrics, the production, or you don't really have to have all that? Or is it just a vibe? Like you just like it? Like some songs to me don't have much substance, or it might not be the best song, but I like, I'll be playing it. Like I'll use Future as an example. I like Future as a
Mhm.
rapper. Is he the best lyrical rapper? No. Does he have the most substance? No. Future be talking about a
Mhm.
lot of, nonsense a lot of the times.
Right.
But, he knows how to make songs, and that
Mhm.
you can pick something that you like from Future, in my opinion, if you listen to him. But is he has
True.
the most substance? No. Is he the best lyrical rapper? No. But I find something that I like from Future every now and then. I know a lot of people, don't, you know how people
Mhm.
feel about Future and his content and his music, but I like to use him as that perfect example. Like, do you have that, or it's just a mood? If you like it, if it catches your ear, you can bob your head to it. You you're gonna put it on the playlist.
I'm such a I would say an orthodox playlist curator because sometimes I'll go hard on one playlist and then sometimes I'll start a whole nother playlist because I find a song that I can curate around. But so sometimes I go off vibe. Sometimes it's something that just catches my ear and I'm like, okay, well, I need to find a place for it. If it doesn't go on a playlist, I do content on TikTok as well and do a song of the day. If I need to make a video around it, I'll do that. But sometimes it's vibes. Sometimes it's a mood. Sometimes, you know, it just depends. But if it catches my ear 9 times out of 10, it's either going
Uh,
in my library and or going
yeah.
on a playlist for sure.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Simple. And need a complicating it, right?
Right,
Okay.
right.
Um, how do you decide? Yeah, how do you decide like what order the songs go in, or do you decide, like what comes to mind when you're doing that? Like, far as like the order you want to place them in and stuff like that. What is your process when it comes to that?
I just recently, probably within the last year, I started cutting myself off from making really long playlists and also doing it synchronously. So sometimes it depends. It depends on what the vibe is. Some playlists you can throw on and put them on shuffle and they're gonna hit regardless. And I know Apple Music has the auto mix, thing now, so it can kind of just flow into each other. And Spotify has the same feature, but it depends on what the vibe is. If I'm trying to kind of tell a story, that's kind of how I'll like
Yeah.
stack them up, just to make sure that it
Yeah.
flows. Normally, I don't do those with I don't do that with longer playlists. Like try to keep it between 20 and 15 songs because otherwise that's too much on my brain. It's too much. I'd rather y'all just put it on shuffle. The song's they gonna hit regardless whether what song comes before or after one. So yeah.
That's dope. I like that. I like that. And in your opinion, what separates a good playlist, a great playlist, I must say, compared to an average playlist? Like, what is the essential ingredients a great playlist must have to be considered a great one compared to an average one?
Got you.
It's just your opinion. Just your opinion, what you may think.
That's a really good question. I feel like placing everything isn't a good indication that it is all hitters. Like to me, I'm gonna pick the best of the best. Whatever the theme is, whatever the mood is, I need bring the baddest ones out and it needs to be stacked. Um, if you just place in everything on a playlist to fit the mood, everything doesn't always flow together. Some artists
Right.
don't always flow together. Being able to be picky about it to an extent, which my friends already know this about me. They don't like sending stuff to me because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna let you know if it's
Okay.
bad or not, and give you notes so that you can improve it because I'm a hard critic. And I think that's what kind
Like
of
it.
sets me apart as a playlist curator, especially in the R&B space. Sometimes they place a lot of stuff on there, and it's not necessarily the best of the best. So I try to do, it is curated to my taste personally, but I try to make sure that I'm picky enough so that everything flows together.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. I like that. Do you think the algorithms and stuff like that, do you think they help or hurt? Basically, you think they help or hurt with music discovery? Far as like, I know like Apple Music, all of them are different, like with
Mhm.
discovering recommendations and stuff like that. In your opinion, do you think it help or hurt with discovering like new music, new artists and stuff like that?
I feel like social media is a little bit better at doing that aside from the DSPs because sometimes like Apple Music kind of feeds me the same stuff that's already on my playlist or like a song that's on an album I didn't save. Which sometimes I can like go back to and be like, oh, this is a song I skipped and it was actually fire. But I don't think they do that good of a job. Spotify's a little bit better, but I don't think they do as
Yeah.
much of a good as
Yeah.
like my For You page on TikTok. I'm always adding stuff because people come across my page all the time. But if I have to go to like Apple Music and I'm looking for somebody, I'm like, it's the same thing that I'm seeing all the time. So I think it can be a benefit. It can also be, whatever.
Yeah, okay, I agree. Yeah, and Apple Music, their recommendations be all over the place sometimes. You could be listening to DMX like 3 times in a row and they'll recommend you Taylor Swift. Like Taylor Swift will come
Yep.
up next. Like how is that even possible? Like their algorithm, their thing, I mean not TikTok, Spotify does a way better job in my opinion with discovering new music. With what you
Hmm.
like, curating it into
Yeah.
your taste and what you're actually listen to. Because
Hmm.
Apple Music, they'll have you, you'll listen to hip hop, and they'll throw in a Taylor Swift song or
Hmm.
Sabrina Carpenter or something like that, just out the blue.
Hmm.
You like this? This is all over. So
Sometimes it
yeah,
hits,
I agree
sometimes it
with that.
don't.
Exactly, exactly. And I don't know if you rock with YouTube Music, but YouTube Music is pretty good with their recommendations, though. I've been rocking with them. I've been rocking with YouTube Music.
They
Yeah, I
can,
like their
for sure.
recommendations. Yeah, I like it. If you listen to something, they find out what you like and they do a good job. To me, I think because I listen to a lot of hip hop and they do a great job. Like you just let it like shuffle or let it play, like recommending like songs you may like. It don't be like I said, I think Apple Music is the worst out of the big ones
Hmm.
that I've heard, in my opinion. I think YouTube Music and Spotify does a better job with curating stuff around what you actually like, just my opinion. But yeah,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I get what you. And speaking of the DSPs, do you curate certain playlists on certain ones differently, or like you might like I want it to sound like this or be like this on Spotify as opposed to Apple Music, or it's just
No,
equal across?
it's equal because when I don't post one on the other, it's always somebody in the comments, where's the Spotify link? Where's the Apple Music link? I can't do it. So
Okay.
normally I
Okay.
just kind of like import them across and just make them the same. I'm a little slower in updating Spotify because I'm not paying for two DSPs, but Apple Music is the one that I normally use, but
Mhm.
Spotify, and I try to put the other ones on at least the music videos as well on YouTube as well.
Okay. So, do you think the playlist? Do you think that's like the new radio, like the playlist and like curating stuff like that? Because I don't listen to the radio. I listen to a playlist, your play or something, whatever, before I listen to the radio. Do you think that's where we at in 2026?
Between that and the DJs posting their sets, I think so.
Think so? Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I like okay, short
I
and
think there's
sweet.
still value in radio, but also like if you don't, everybody has their phone in their hands. Nobody's downloading a Sirius XM or, their local station to be listening to music. So
Yeah.
it's not obsolete. I see the value in it, but playlists and DJ sets are probably what people are listening to more.
Okay, I agree with that. If you could curate perfect if you curate one perfect playlist, um, some of your favorite artists or just one, you had to just do one playlist, what theme would you go with? What would it, how would you approach that? What would that look like? The perfect ultimate
Mm.
playlist from Danielle to Underground Wave, like how would you approach that? What theme would you go with? Stuff like that.
The first thing that's coming to mind is probably like a Toxic Lovers playlist, and it would be a combination of R&B, but also some melodic rap. Because I find myself gravitating towards that, which I don't know what that says about me, but the beats for the melodic rap, for who I listen to, hey, I ain't mad at it. But also, I feel like
Nope.
there's a lane for toxicity in R&B as well. So I feel like balancing those two would definitely make a great playlist.
Agree. Yes, it's definitely a lane for, like you said, I'm a Jodeci fan. I'm a big Jodeci fan and stuff like that. I think they the king. I think they kind of, Bobby Brown, Jodeci, that vibe back then, the
Mm-hmm.
bad boy rugged style R&B compared to like the nice button up R&B that Boys to Men had. There was
Mm-hmm.
all of them were amazing, but they all had their own style, their own thing, and it was for different moods and different times. So yeah, so it's definitely a place for all of it, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and speaking of, R&B, the Grammys are this weekend. Do you have any like favorites, or you been keeping up with that? Like who you want to win? Um, I know Leon Thomas had a big year. He's up for a couple of Grammys. Album of the year for best R&B album. I think he's in that category. Like, what
Mm-hmm.
you any Grammy predictions that you have? I know they come on tomorrow, R&B wise or hip hop wise.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Um, I always predict a couple of snubs just to set my
Okay.
expectations low. I would
Yeah,
love to
yeah,
see Leon get Best New Artist. Folded
yeah,
needs to take home at least one.
yeah.
Uh, Underdogs, Duran Bernard and Kenyon Dixon, I hope they get to take one home as well. They've been nominated the past like 4 years and haven't taken home anything. So I feel like I hope this year is their year. I hope they get the tributes right. A lot of people have gone on. I need them
yeah,
to get that right.
yeah.
Um, I'm interested to see the
They
performances. I
doing
think they did really well. Hmm.
yeah. I said they doing a D'Angelo a tribute, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
with Lauren
So
Hill and them.
hopefully,
Thank you.
hopefully they get that
Yeah,
right. But yeah, I'm just
they better get
excited to
that.
see.
Yeah,
I have to.
yeah,
I
that'll be
just
dope.
like deleted Twitter, and I said I got to get back on Twitter just to see. We got to watch
Okay.
as a family and
Yeah,
see what the
yeah,
commentary is. But I'm excited for them. I just hope that the correct people get their
yeah.
accolades. But again, I'm expecting a snub or two. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's always.
Mm,
I know Kendrick gonna win big. He had a big year. Of course, he's always gonna take home some. It's just what it is. Kendrick is one. He's one of those dudes. He's one of those guys. I
hmm
hate to
for
bring
sure.
him up. I know.
Mhm.
J. Cole. I know. I
I'm a
know.
fan of
I know you're.
both. I'm a fan of
Okay, there
both.
you go. There you go. Exactly. Exactly. Both of them are amazing guys, amazing talents. So yeah, of course, fan of both. I love
Hmm.
both, and I even like
Same.
Drake. I even like Drake. I like some of
Same.
his stuff. I like Drake. Yeah, I like Drake. You could be a fan, you're just a fan of music. The beef
Right.
was entertainment, but you ain't got to stop listening to one another. It ain't that serious.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But yeah, I think Kendrick gonna win. Did you get a chance to listen to the Clips album, the Let God
Yes,
Sort Them Out?
I
They had a
would love to
yeah,
see
that's
them get album of the
I,
year.
yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I would love to see it
yeah,
because that was a solid
yeah.
album.
Yeah, that was yeah. I want to see them lead with something. They
Something.
nominated, I think, 5 times. I love the song, the tribute to their parents. I think they
Hmm.
nominated with that song. So I want to see at least I want them to win in that category. I think if I have to do my prediction, I think they will win in that category. I think it's um best hip hop song, rap song
Hmm.
of the year or something.
Yeah.
I think they got a great chance to win in that category. And I think they nominated with the song with Kendrick. So they might
Yep.
win in that category as well. So I see them taking home 1 or 2 awards. That's big, for Clips. That was an amazing project,
Yep.
great album and stuff like that. So I look forward to it. That's my Grammy 2 cents and stuff like that. So, basically, I guess I was trying to see if I had any more questions. I know we, set out of time, but we had like 25 minutes right now. I guess that's pretty much all the questions that I had. I thought, I didn't realize I thought we'll run a little longer, but that's pretty much all the questions I have. Anything else you want to add or anything else for you before we wrap it up? Anything?
Oh, not really. I'll give y'all my socials.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there you
yeah.
go. Tell people where
So
to find you, follow you.
yes. So I am the underground wave underscore on threads and Instagram. I am Danny the Creative, DANICRE8TIV on TikTok. I wish I could tell you. I think it's playlist by Danny on Apple Music, and then I don't know what my
It's
Spotify is, but everything is connected. If y'all
fine.
follow me on TikTok, I have a link tree. Everything is there for you. All the accounts, all the playlists, all of that stuff. So, yep.
All right. All right. With that being said, yo, I appreciate you for joining me. I appreciate
Thanks for
everything.
having me.
Thanks for joining me. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that was good. It was a nice conversation. I got to dig into your world a little bit,
Hmm.
curating. You actually taught me some things that I didn't know. Your approach. I love your approach and how you
Thanks.
approach this thing. So that's what's up. Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate the support. Catch you guys on the next one. Your boy Maurice signing off with my girl Danielle. Catch you on the next one. Peace.